Hey guys, I wanted to break down an installation job for you. Give you a chance to kind of look and see where your pricing is at. This isn't necessarily our pricing; it's just an example, but to give you an idea of how we go about it. So basically, we want to figure out the actual cost, what it's going to cost us to do the job, not marked up cost, just what does it cost. So to give you an example, I just kind of broke down all these different things. So I got torch vacuum nitrogen, $35, permit, $60, metal, $20, fuses, whip, pad disconnect, $75, maybe a little dirt to level the pad, $5, miscellaneous gas pipe, flue material, flush, or line set, whatever you want. Just take your actual cost. So copper fitting, start booster, filter rack, stat wire, and I just figured 12 hours labor for 2 guys at $25 per hour. So you want to make sure and do a little more on your labor than what you're paying. And I don't know what that number is for you. Maybe it's $50 per guy. It's whatever you're currently charging. Maybe add $5 or $10 to it and figure it that way. So all that added up came up to $1,170. So now we have our labor and materials. So now we figure up our equipment. So I just figured a 95% variable speed furnace, 1685, a 16 SEER condenser, 1403, a coil, 450, and the thermostat, maybe a nice digital touchscreen thermostat, 260. And I take that total, which is $37.98. So add those two together, your equipment, your material and labor, and that comes to $49.68. Now that price, now in order to determine your actual price of what you're going to sell it for, you know that's what it's going to take to do the job. That's what it's going to cost you, your company. So based on a 35% overhead in the installation department, which I think is probably fairly standard, somewhere anywhere between, it could be as high as 40, but probably isn't. But if you're somewhere between $0 to $500,000 in revenue with your company, I would imagine you're going to be somewhere around that 35 mark. So 35 is a pretty safe bet, is what I'm saying. So then you figure how much profit you want to make. So on this particular example, I'm figuring 12% profit. That's what I'd like to make at the end of the day. So I add those two together, my overhead, my profit, that gives me 47. Now in order to determine my divisor, I just take 100 minus 47, which is 53. 53% is going to be my divisor. That's how I'm going to determine what I'm going to charge to do this job. So all you do is take the $49.68, which is your actual cost, divided by 53%, which comes up to a selling price of $93.73. So that's what I would need to sell that job for and have everything go like I planned it in order to come out with 12% profit. So you can break that down the other way too. So once you're finished with the job, let's say that I hit it on the money. It took exactly 12 hours. We used exactly what I had on the listed. We paid what I figured. And that's what the job cost us, was the $49.68. So if I take the sale price, $93.73, and I minus what it cost us, which is the $49.68, I come up with $44.05. That is our gross profit. That is what we made from the job. But it's not. That number is not that important. Way more important number is going to be your gross profit margin, which is, you take that number, the $44.05, and turn around and divide it by what you sold it for, the $93.73. And when you do that, you get 47%. So there's our 47% that we came up with earlier. So if you take that 47% and you minus the overhead out of it, you're left with 12. That's what you get to actually keep from the job. So you can see there's a big difference, which if you figure that out, that's your net profit. And your net profit, if you just figure that percentage, 12% of $93.73 is somewhere around $1,125. So you can see there's a major, huge difference between just your gross profit and your actual net profit, what you get to keep after all your expenses are paid. Your gas, your insurance bill, your printer paper, your ink, your phone bills, all this stuff that's all included in your overhead, your reoccurring cost, maybe your rent or your mortgage, the utilities at your place of business, all that stuff. So once that's all considered and removed from the equation, you actually get to keep $1,125, which is a really good day. I mean, that's good money. If you could make that every day, we'd be doing pretty well. So, and that's why I say you need to shoot over a little bit. Like when you're pricing your labor, figure 12 hours instead of 8. The hardest thing about it is just going to be to sell it at the price that you need to get. So you got to develop a sales process so you can. That's the only way you're going to make any real money. So basically, that's pretty much it. You just add everything you got, material, labor, equipment, add all that together, and then determine your divisor. Now, if you wanted to make 15% or 20%, you just change that. Or maybe your overhead's only 25%. So then you might be able to, when times get a little tougher, you tend to watch these numbers a little closer. I hope it's been a really hot summer here in the Midwest, and I hope everybody's been super busy and having record-breaking months. I think we're about to have one. So we're growing about 28% so far, which we're shooting for 35, but we know realistically if we hit 25, we're going to be totally cool with that. So basically that's kind of how our pricing structure is made. We've got a formula where it breaks down just the furnaces and then it breaks down the air conditioners and coils. But when you put those two together, it's got the 12 hours labor, which is why I use the 12 hours. So most jobs don't take us 12 hours, especially just on replacement equipment. But that way we're padded a little bit. Because what about the jobs that don't go great? There's lots of those. And there's lots of service calls that you wind up giving away for free. And you got to cover that stuff somehow. So I'm not saying gouge by any means, but it's got to be padded just a little bit to cover your butt. So you may even want to add like a warranty. We actually have one. I just forgot to put it on here. Just a warranty bucket. So we have like a $50 that we add into every installation that's strictly for a warranty bucket. That might help cover one more go back after we finish the job. So it's important to think about those things and include them in your price. So I hope this helped you guys, and hope you're having an awesome summer, and hope you're making lots of money. Go make money.